this is Laura and Arnie with Crazy Cool Cakes.
And we're so glad you could be with us today.
We want to thank you for joining us for the next video in our Cake Biz series. We want to start off like we always do by reading some of your wonderful comments. We want to thank everybody for taking the time to leave us really awesome feedback, and I have to say you guys asked some of the most awesome questions. They really do make me think. So thank you for that. So this first one is from Rochelle Thompson.
Hi, Rochelle.
And Rochelle says, I seriously love these videos. Thank you. So many people were telling me I wasn't charging enough, but I had too much self-doubt. A year later, and I'm now finally charging what I should have been charging all along. Thank you for encouraging all of us to reach our full potential.
Wow.
That's awesome. You're very, very welcome, Rochelle, and thank you for that feedback. I mean, that just pretty much solidifies.
Makes it all worth it.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah, and it makes us see that these videos are doing what they're supposed to do. That was the entire purpose of these videos, guys, is to give you the confidence, the encouragement that you need to be able to have the business of your dreams. I mean, if we're doing it, you can do it. No reason in the world why every single one of you can't do the same. This next awesome comment is from Regina Paula.
Hi, Regina.
And she says, you gave me the courage to price my figures. Thank you. You're very, very welcome. And of course, if you didn't see last week's video, be sure to check it out where we talked about and we taught you guys how to charge correctly for your cake decorations.
Right.
This next awesome comment is from Tibogo and Sawani.
Hi, Tibogo.
I hope I said that right, Tibogo.
Me too.
She says, hi all the way from South Africa. That's awesome.
Wow.
Now we have followers everywhere. You guys are so awesome. Thank you for joining us. Love the Biz series. Such an eye-opener. Thank you so much, and God bless you both. You're very welcome, Tibogo.
God bless you too.
God bless you too. And, you know, now that we're talking about how our followers are everywhere, I get lots of comments from cake artists all over the world asking, will the cake pricing techniques work in my country?
They'll work anywhere.
They'll work anywhere. It doesn't matter the type of currency that you all use. They will work perfectly no matter where you are.
That's right.
Right, so that's awesome. This next comment is from Chance P.
Hi, Chance.
And she says, hi guys, I'm following you from the UK.
There you go.
As many of your followers, I too realize that I have been literally giving away my cakes.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
So that's proof that people give away their cakes too,
Anywhere.
no matter where you are, you know, no matter where you are. Not anymore. Awesome. As soon as I get a moment to myself, I'll be sorting out my pricing. It's about time that I start commanding the money I deserve.
I like her wording.
I love that, man. Commanding.
Yeah.
Right.
On yourself.
Right. We command, we set the prices. We're the ones that say what the work is worth.
She's not commanding the clients, she's commanding herself.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, that's true, baby.
That's right.
Very good.
Sometimes.
Sometimes smart boy.
Sometimes.
That's what I call him, sometimes smart boy. So I love that. It's about time that we all start commanding the money we deserve.
That's right.
And then she says, power to the bakers. That's awesome. Keep up the good
And
work.
the artist.
And the artist. You're very welcome, Chance, and that's wonderful that you have, like we said a few videos ago, making that mental switch, and you know it when it happens.
Epiphany, as
yeah,
they say.
aha moment, right? It just happens. That's so wonderful. This next comment is from Carissa Harewood.
Hi, Carissa.
And she says, I really do learn something new whenever I watch your videos. I've only just realized the importance of marking up my time. That's awesome. I've been charging for my time only and not really adding a profit to it. Since watching your videos, I stopped putting prices on pictures of my work. Thanks for this video. You're very welcome, Carissa. And again, I'm sure that she's not the only one. I know lots of you have realized that we don't just charge for our time. Right? If we're only charging for our time, like we've said before, we're only breaking even, and we're in business to make a profit. We're not in business just to break even.
That's right.
So that's wonderful, Carissa. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And that leads us into this next comment from Terry Hendy.
Hi, Terry.
And she says, hi guys, I'm having a bit of a hard time understanding the profit portion of charging above my time spent for my work. And I can understand that.
Sure.
When we've been thinking a certain way for a long time, it's difficult.
It's hard to get out of that, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to start thinking a different way.
Out of the box.
So hopefully we'll be able to help you, Terry, and anybody else that has the same question. She says, I think it's because I work full-time and I get paid hourly. And what I get paid is what I get paid. It doesn't include a markup for profit.
It's because you're not the business owner.
Right, right. So like she's saying here, she gets paid hourly. So she's an employee. Like you said, she's not the business owner. When you work an hourly job, you're not making a profit.
Unless you take paper clips and staplers and stuff.
And sell them, right?
And sell them,
at the swap meet on the weekend. When you have an hourly job, you're not making a profit. You're simply being paid for your time. So she says, can you explain why there would be the difference here in a cake business? I'm just really having a hard time wrapping my head around it. Thanks so much. When you apply for a job, you're just looking to get paid a certain amount of money per hour. You're not really looking to make a profit.
On top of that.
So if you're an employee, forget the whole profit idea. You're not an employee to make a profit. You're an employee to make an hourly wage. Right. That's the difference, okay, between employee, right, an hourly wage job, and a business owner. A business owner has to make a profit, or I should say you should want to make a profit. Basically, let's just say you're my employee, which you really are.
I am.
You're my employee, and I'm going to pay you per hour. So basically all we're doing is we're trading.
Right.
It's an even trade. He's going to trade 1 hour of his time in exchange for a certain amount of money per hour.
Exactly.
No profit whatsoever.
Right.
Okay? So hopefully that kind of explains it a little bit, Terry. The entire purpose of marking up your time, and like Carissa said in her previous comment, she finally realized that she needs to mark up to make a profit, not just to be paid,
not just the hourly
for
wage.
her time.
Right.
Exactly. If you're in business, if you've decided that you're going to have a cake business, we have to make a profit, or else why are we in business?
Yeah.
When you have your own business, you're going to see it's very, very different than having a job.
Working for somebody else is way different from working
very
for yourself.
different, because now you realize that it all comes down to you, how diligent you are in your work, how seriously you take your business, and all the bills
Right.
have to be paid from the money that you make.
That's right.
So hopefully that helps, Terry. We are in business to make a profit, so you have to mark up your time. You have to make a profit on the cakes, make a profit on the decorations, make a profit on everything. If you're simply charging for your time only, then you're not making a profit. Then there's really
you're their employee.
Yeah, you're exactly.
Yeah.
Man,
I know. I don't know.
You're like so
I'm not even on coffee
on today.
I'm not even on coffee or anything.
Wow. So what did you say? Say it again. Do you remember what you said?
When you're working at just an hourly rate and that's it, breaking even, you're their employee. Exactly.
So if you're only charging your clients for your time, you are their employee.
And if you're charging less than that, you're their volunteer.
And that's actually the next thing I was going to say. Unfortunately, a lot of cake artists don't even charge for their time. They undercharge, right? So not only are they not making a profit, they're not even charging for their time, and they're basically donating their time, they're donating their work. They end up in the red, and so they are basically paying the client to allow them to make the cake for them. So very, very important, guys, to make sure that you are in business to make a profit. Now, if you don't want to make a profit, again, your choice. If you want to continue to...
You'll stand by their decision.
Yeah, I'll stand by, and like I say it before, and you always laugh when I say it, but I defend your right if that's what you want to only charge for your time. And I know you don't want to, Terry, and that's exactly why you're asking the question, because you want to understand, because you know that this is
all
the
joking
way,
aside, this is true.
This is the way that it should be. We are in business to make a profit. So hopefully that answers the question and that helps shed a little bit of light on the topic. So thank you for that, Terry. The last comment that we're going to go over in today's video is from Mercedes Duncan.
Hi, Mercedes.
She says, y'all are so amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
She says, I'm so grateful for these videos. They have taught me to be more confident and be able not to worry about what people will say when I give them a quote. That's awesome. So before I get to her actual question, again, Mercedes, and for all of you that have told us these videos are giving you the confidence, the courage. A lot of you have said, you're giving me the courage, I have the confidence, you're teaching me not to worry, not to be afraid, you're doing it. And that is the number one thing. Yes, let's learn how to charge for our work. Yes, let's learn how to run our business, all of those things. But without the confidence, without the courage, none of that will work.
None of that.
None of that. I mean, you can be the best cake artist on the planet and know the most beautiful, intricate techniques, how to make this, how to make that. But what good is all of that if you're not going to profit from it?
That's right.
If you're not going to gain something or benefit in some way.
From the gift that's in you.
From the gift, right? And God gave you this gift to improve your life, to better your life, so that
help
you can
others.
Help other people, so you can enjoy your life. And you're certainly not going to enjoy your life if you're working till 4:35 in the morning, exhausted, and knowing that you're not making a single penny off of this. Scraping money. That's what it all comes down to. Being confident, knowing your worth, knowing the value of your time, the value of your work. Once we get that down first, I mean, that's the
preach it, sister.
That's all you need, is that confidence. The confidence will give you what you need to be able to charge correctly for your work. The confidence will give you what you need to be able to speak confidently to a client, to make wise decisions, how to run a peaceful, stress-free business.
And the truth is, it's in all of us.
It's in all of us. It's in you. Okay, so for those of you that, you know, and I still read a few comments here and there, people saying, I just feel guilty charging that much. I don't feel right. You know, we need to get rid of all of that, guys.
Don't go by feelings.
Yeah, don't go by your feelings. Feelings are fickle. They come and go. And like we said in the previous videos, you tell your brain what to think. If your brain is telling you to be afraid, to worry, to don't do this, don't do that, don't be controlled by those feelings. I mean, if you know that you've been blessed with this talent for a reason, it's for a reason.
Go for it.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it. So she says, you've taught me to be more confident and to be able to not worry. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
What this is all about.
And it might be very easy, you know, once the video ends and you say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. But then a few days go by and you let that fear and that doubt start settling in again. Come back and watch the videos if you have to. And constantly,
get re-encouraged.
Yeah, constantly remind yourself, I'm a cake artist. And what do we always say? We say, I am strong, I am able, I can. And just say it over and over again. I'm strong, I am able, I can. Yes, you can.
One more time.
Well, I can't charge that much for my work. I am strong, I am able, I can. So don't tell me you can't charge that much. Don't tell me that you can't have the courage to talk to clients confidently. Don't tell me that you're not able to be financially prosperous. Right?
I can't do it. I can't do it.
You can do it. I am strong, I am able, I can. Yes, I can. Constantly say it to yourself. And that reminds me of an awesome link underneath the video that you'll find there. Check out my Cake Artist Challenge. For those of you that struggle with fear and doubt and courage, just try this challenge, guys, and I'm telling you that in just a few weeks, the way that you think will completely change.
One of the big comments that was made in the NCAA tournament this year was, why not us?
Why not?
Why not us? Every team was saying that. Why not us? Out of 64 teams, there's only 2 finalists, 1 winner. But every team was saying it. Why not us?
Yeah. See, the difference here is that every single one of you can be a successful cake artist. Not just a few of you. Every single one of you. And you know what I tell the people in my webinar a lot is, I've given you everything that you need to be completely successful. And the only thing, there's just one thing that separates those cake artists that go on to actually have a successful cake business and the ones that continue to do things the same old way. The only difference is those that succeeded, they actually did it. That's the only difference. Just decide, I'm going to do it.
They made up their mind.
And don't just say, I'm going to do it, but actually do it. Do it.
I'm going to try? No.
No.
I'm going to do it.
Right. And it all comes down to your confidence. It comes down to, if you know you need to be charging more for your work, do it. Do it.
I think that word try is I've already said it, it's a verb with no action.
Right. What does Yoda say in the movie that we just saw?
He says, not try, just do.
That's cute. Just do it. Don't talk about it. Don't tell everybody about it. Just do it. raise your prices, and that's where everything starts. You know, and I've had a few people say, well, I tried raising my prices, but it didn't work. No, you mean you raised your prices, they tried you, and you didn't work. It works. If you raise your prices, it works. All you have to do is be patient and just stick with it. Don't let fear overtake you. Raise your prices, just see where it takes you. I challenge all of you, okay?
Yeah,
for those of you that have been watching these videos and have yet to do it, have yet to order your cake artist guide.
They're just kind of sticking their toe in the water.
Yeah, you're like half in, half out. No, you gotta just dive in. Okay, so for those of you that have been watching these videos and you know you have to do it, and you know that you gotta order your cake artist guide to find out what you've actually been paying yourself in the past, and you haven't done it, I challenge you to do it. I had a subscriber comment and she said, I know I have to get the guide, and I know I have to do it, but I'm afraid to face the truth.
Maybe that's what it is.
Don't be afraid to face the truth, guys. What does the Bible say? Knowing the truth will make you free. Will make you free. Will make you free. So let's be free. Free to have an awesome cake business.
Free to have fun.
Free to charge what we know our work is worth. Free to have fun and enjoy your life.
Free to really have fun.
Yeah. So anyways, guys, let's get back to these awesome comments.
We digress.
Yeah, we digress. Mercedes that gets to her actual question, and this is a great question, Mercedes. Thank you for it, because many people have asked the same question. So she says, my question is, with other products, how would you price them out, such as cupcakes and cookies? Thank you again. You're very welcome. So this is where we're gonna just real quick do the rundown of the rundown. And what I told Mercedes is the way that you charge for cupcakes and cookies and whatever else you all choose to make, cake pops and, you know, drizzled pretzels or whatever you call them. All of those things, okay? Because we know a lot of people that also offer those things to their clients. Right. And so you charge for those things, Mercedes, and everybody else that's interested the same exact way as you do cakes. Remember in the previous videos, and again, guys, if this is the first video you're watching in this series, go back and watch all the other videos, okay? And like we mentioned before, okay, you have to first establish a base price. So we established a base price for our cakes. You do the same thing for cupcakes. You do the same thing for cookies. Let's take cupcakes, for example. If you want to find out how much do I charge for a dozen cupcakes, first you have to figure out the amount of time that it's going to take you to obtain the ingredients, you know, the time that you go to the store, all of those things, to buy the things that you need to make 1 dozen cupcakes. Your baking time, and then also the amount of time that it takes you to make the icing and to ice the cupcakes. Once you figure out or calculate the amount of time that all of that took you, then what you're gonna do is you multiply that time by what 1 hour of your time is worth. Like we said in the very first video.
You gotta do that first.
If you don't know what 1 hour of your time is worth, you'll never know how to charge for anything. And cakes, cake toppers, cupcakes, nothing, okay? Right. So you have to figure out what 1 hour of your time is worth. That's how you establish a base price for, say, a dozen cupcakes. And if you'll recall, guys, in the video where we talked about base price on a cake, we said your base price is your break-even point. If you're only charging your base price for your cakes or cupcakes or anything else, cookies, for example, then you're not making a profit. You are simply paying yourself for your out-of-pocket expenses and for the time that it took you to make that thing or those things.
And I think a lot of people get confused with the fact that it's a cookie or a cupcake or cake pop. Those are smaller than cakes, so they should be charged less.
Not at all.
And just because it's smaller doesn't mean it's simpler. First of all, it's not.
Not at all. For those of you that do beautifully royal iced artistic cookies, cake pops, I mean, those things are intricate. You need to charge for your time, and it all comes down to your time. Like I was saying, you have to establish your base price, but remember that base price is just your break-even point. That is the point of zero profit.
You need to make a profit.
You need to make a profit. So at that point, like I told Mercedes, at that point, you need to mark up the cost, that base price, so that you can now start making a profit on just the cupcakes alone. Now, if the cupcakes, for example, involve decoration, you apply the same concept that we learned in the previous video when it came to how to charge for your decoration.
Take my Harry Potter.
Yeah, for example, like we did some awesome Harry Potter cupcakes like 2 years ago.
Cupcake toppers, yeah, and cupcakes.
Cupcakes and cupcake toppers. The way that we figured out was, okay, how long is it going to take Arnie to sculpt, to hand sculpt each cupcake topper? And if you've never done it before, like we said before, you have to get really good at guesstimating. Make an educated guess as to how much time you think you're going to spend creating that one little cupcake topper.
That's right.
So figure out what one cupcake topper will take, and you multiply that times what you feel 1 hour of your time is worth. From there, it's so simple just to figure out what you should charge for the dozen cupcake toppers. Then you add the cost of the decorations to the cost of the cupcakes. And remember, guys, don't forget, very important, you gotta mark up the cost of the decorations. Not just not just the amount of time that it took you to make the decorations. Again, if that's all you're doing, you're not making a profit. You're just an employee, like we said. You're just being paid per hour. We're in business to make a profit. So you add up the cost of the decorations with the cupcakes, and that is the total cost, the true worth, the value of 1 dozen cupcakes with cupcake toppers. Same thing goes with cookies. If your client is requiring or requesting a very intricate design, okay, how long is it going to take me to bake 1 dozen cookies, to go to the store and buy the ingredients? How long is it going to take me to make the royal icing and color all of the royal icings different colors and put them in the piping bags and all of that? How do we know that? Because we have a lot of friends that make gorgeous, gorgeous cookies. And so we know the amount of time that it takes. And then how long is it going to take me to decorate each cookie? Yeah, nicely. Nicely. So just like with everything, guys, it all comes down to knowing what 1 hour of your time is worth. So now that you mentioned the Harry Potter cupcakes that we did, you guys might have seen the tutorial. We actually put out the tutorial last year. I think it was these beautifully, very intricate Harry Potter cupcake toppers. So they're very, very intricate. Remember, just because something is smaller, like you said a little while ago, does not at all mean that they're going to be less expensive. It all comes down to how much time is it going to take me to hand sculpt each cupcake topper? How much time is it going to take me to make and decorate each royalized cookie? Cake pops. And just because they're cake pops, that does not mean that they're cheap. These things are very, very intricate, and you need to charge for your time. We've had clients want to order, say for example, a dozen cupcakes with a hand sculpted minion on top of each cupcake. And then when we give them the price, they don't understand, but they're just cupcakes. Yeah, but you're asking me to hand sculpt a 2-inch minion for each cupcake.
With different expressions.
Yeah, with different expressions, different poses, and all of these things. And just
1 goggle, 2 goggles.
And actually, the smaller something is, the more difficult it is to sculpt, the more difficult it is to achieve good detail. That's what I always tell, especially my Etsy clients. You know, they'll see a topper for that, they read there in the listing, it's a certain height. And it costs a certain amount. And so they say, well, how much if you make it 3 inches? I mean, come on, a 3-inch cat in the hat? That's ridiculous. You won't even be able to see it on the cake.
The hat alone is like 2.5.
Yeah. And so I tell them, if you needed that minuscule, that microscopic, I'm more than happy to make it that size for you if you really need it to be that tiny. But it's going to be double the price. So just because something is smaller does not mean it's less expensive. And in fact, a lot of times it's more expensive. So for those Harry Potter cupcakes that you mentioned, our client ended up paying hundreds of dollars for just 2 dozen cupcakes. The cupcakes, you know, never mind the cupcakes, it's the artwork. And again, guys, remember, you are a cake artist. You're not a cake lady, you're a cake artist. What makes cupcakes intricate are the decoration, or the way that you make the cupcakes, the way that you ice them beautifully. Custom cakes, what makes them custom is the fact that you take so much time with the decorations and creating that cake. So again, guys, it's all a matter of how we see ourselves, how we think. But it all comes down, like we've said, to knowing what 1 hour of your time is worth. That is the beginning of everything.
You just did
in the name of Jesus.
God bless
you. God bless you, and please figure out what 1 hour of your time is worth. Let me just throw in there, for those of you that have yet to purchase your Cake Artist Guide, and some of you don't even know what it is, we talk about it all the time. The Cake Artist Guide is called Cake Artist Guide to Knowing What They're Truly Earning. The purpose of the guide is for you to look at one of your cakes that you've done in the past and input some information in there as to what you charged. And at the very, very end, after you've done all the math, and don't get scared by the math, guys. It's very simple. I guide you step by step through the entire guide.
Right.
And at the very end, this is what that one subscriber was afraid of finding out. At the very end, you find out what you actually paid yourself per hour for that cake.
Or not paid yourself. And
so many of you have said what a huge eye-opener it was. A lot of people end up in the red, which means they paid the client to let them make the cake for them.
They volunteered.
Right. And so why do we keep telling you about the guide? This number that you arrive at the very end will now help you decide what you want to be paying yourself per hour. If you realize that you've only been making $2 an hour, $3 an hour, negative 12 cents per hour, that right there should tell you, I need to be making at least this much. And like we said before, figure out, and you'll see in the guide, it'll ask you what is the minimum wage in your state or in your country or wherever you are. And whatever the minimum wage is, you know that you need to be making much, much more than that. And like I've said to a lot of my participants in the webinars, no cake artist, I don't care if you're just beginning, nobody should be making less than $20 an hour. I mean, seriously, $20 an hour should be like the starting point.
A few people just broke through their deodorant right there.
Yeah, don't break through your deodorant, guys. Don't let these numbers scare you. And use, like we said before, previous jobs, previous careers as a guideline. And like you said before, when you go for a job, you know what you should be making per hour. Never mind that it's making cakes. You're a professional cake artist. Whether you used to be a banker or a lawyer, you know, I had an attorney that she quit her career as an attorney to be a full-time cake artist. And she is now making more money making cakes than she was being a lawyer. All right, guys, so again, very important to obtain your cake artist guide and do it. Remember, what's the difference? Actually doing it. Do it and 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 do it. Okay, do it. And we also want to mention, guys, that we are still registering right now for our May 28th cake pricing webinar. That's going to be on a Sunday. We still have a few spots available. If you want one-on-one help, and it's a very small group of cake artists that we have in the webinar, and I help each one of you with your specific questions. We talk about everything, how to grow your business, how to obtain the right clients. I look at your cake specifically, and I help you figure out what 1 hour of your time is worth, what you should be charging for your cakes and for your artwork. If you want to get rid of all of the guesswork and you want one-on-one help with me, which I'm more than happy to provide, please register for the webinar, guys. And like we've mentioned before, every artist that has taken the webinar, I mean, I get so many emails immediately after the webinar is over. I go to my email and boom, there's already an email, people saying, wow, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's our pleasure, guys. I mean, this is a real life changer for those of you that want to catapult your business to the next level. Register for the webinar.
And how many husbands hear the wives tell them about the webinar right after that, and they say, my husband was saying, I told you she was right.
Yeah, sometimes we hear them yelling from the kitchen. I've heard husbands yelling from the other room, you see,
I keep telling her.
Yeah, if your husbands are telling you that you're not charging enough, you're not.
And sign up for the webinar.
Yeah, sign up for the webinar. All right, guys, so thank you again for all your awesome comments. Remember to leave all of your questions below. Anything at all, anything having to do with anything that we've discussed in the previous videos, we're more than happy to answer the comments. And really good idea too, guys, if you want to go through all of the comments, because I've answered just about every single one. So you know, those things will prompt other questions. And if you have that same question, you'll see the answer there. So join us for next week's video, guys. We'll be answering more of your questions and comments. God bless you all, everybody.
And we will see you there. Bye-bye.